Let's talk about trauma, specifically emotional trauma. So, if you are someone who has been abandoned or felt neglected or felt that you're not worthy or valued or you're not enough, then I want you to really listen closely. And I want you to know that the trauma you went through is not your fault. It is not your fault what has happened to you either in your childhood or afterwards, in your past experiences. If you were emotionally abused, I really need you to know that it's not your fault. And in this video, I'm going to share my method to healing trauma and how I work with my clients when I work through healing their trauma. Of course, you know that I do holistic work, healing work, energy healing work, intuitive healing when I work with people. So, in terms of trauma itself, it is held in the body. So, consciously, it doesn't matter how much we try hard to forget about what has happened to us, but everything that has happened to us, it is stored in the body. And it's stored in the body because it was not fully expressed, it was not fully healed, it was not fully released. So when body experience trauma, any type of trauma, there's certain reaction within our body happens. We have miraculous body and it has the power to heal. But trauma really means is something shocking, dangerous, body felt scared of, something that it was not aware to deal with happened. And it took that information. Somebody emotionally abusing, gaslighting, being in a toxic relationships, people are constantly mistreating, making you feel less, blaming you, shaming you, abusing you. All of that feels very uncomfortable, feels a lot of pain. And anything that feels like a pain and uncomfortable in the body, and if it hasn't been worked through or released, body doesn't know what to do with it. So it stores it somewhere. And when it stores, the trauma has been stored in the body without being looked at, and our body doesn't know that it's doing a bad job or something wrong with storing trauma or pain. It just thinks that's the best thing to do for you to cope and deal with the life situation. That's why people get into fight and flight. It's just the process of how we are designed as human beings. And God has made our body as perfect, nothing more perfect than our body. It deals with things beautifully. But when there's a shock, when there's accident, when there are incidents that it doesn't know what to do, the safer thing it feels to do is to store it somewhere in the body. That's the safer thing it feels, and it does it to protect you. It does it to make you feel that you can deal with it. It does it for you to cope. So it is, from a perspective of the way the body is designed, it is doing its best for you to cope with that experience. But of course, it has its side effects by storing the trauma, by storing, suppressing abuse in the body. It's all affected. Everything is affected in some way. Some people store it for so many years, they start having physical health issues, emotional health issues, mental health issues. They feel disconnected with themselves. They work really hard to prove that they are not a failure whilst feeling in their body as failed person. And that's the only way they deal. They work consciously, they work hard, they make money, they move forward in life, but inside their inner self feels still like a failure. It still feels unworthy. It still feels that not wholesome. Something is missing. A lot of people say that there's something, some void or emptiness in me, that I don't feel complete. It's because their body has stored a lot of trauma, that something doesn't feel right and it feels disconnected. So it is not your fault that you have gone through what you've gone through, but it is your responsibility to heal, release, and let go of all that suppression, all those feelings. And the way I work in healing is I look at every aspect. So it's not just about subconscious mind and healing through the subconscious mind. That is a one aspect of it, and that's a very important aspect of it. But that's just one aspect of healing, is healing through subconscious mind. The second aspect is important, that is emotions that are stored in the body, that have been suppressed because of the fear, because of the pain, because of how to cope. There's a lot of suppression, not being able to speak, not being able to express. They suppress it in their body. So emotional aspect, subconscious mind, working through that is extremely important, two really, really key areas. And the third area that needs to be worked on is energetics, vibration, frequency, energy of the body. Because everything that we experience in our life, it is stored on subconscious level, it is stored on emotional level, it is also stored in energetic level. It's all stored. So it's all about mind, body, and soul. It's not just mind, it's not just soul, it's not just body, it is all of it. So working on all those three aspects of energy, emotions, and subconscious mind is part of the work and the process in healing completely. This is why some people do a lot of mindset work, they do a lot of mindset coaching and work to change the programming, but they forget about emotions, they forget about energy. So maybe logically they're like, oh, I worked on this, I worked on this, I worked on this, but they're still not comfortable. They're still feeling unhappy. They're still feeling sad because energetically and emotionally they haven't released that trauma, that pain that they have gone through. So my method is to work on emotions, energy, and subconscious mind. And once all of that is together, working through, it is very comprehensive, very powerful, very beautiful work. The transformation can happen in seconds because the work is so powerful, because it is not just about one thing, it is taking everything in account to heal the person, to heal and release somebody from their trauma completely, fully, so they don't feel that stuckness. They don't feel that something is still missing. They feel complete and whole in their body. And it's so important when we are doing healing, when we are healing our trauma, is to be very gentle with ourselves. Allow our body to process it, allow our body to release it, because we do a lot of work physically when we work out, when we go to the gym, when we eat healthy. We are releasing toxins. It's the whole process of releasing toxins. When we are working out in the gym, we are releasing toxins. But we forget about emotional and mental toxins that we have taken in emotionally, the way people made us feel, like the abuse, the feeling of unworthiness or not feeling enough, not feeling deserving because all the trauma, people, the way they conditioned us to keep us in the box, and that traumatized us, that, oh, we are not good enough, we cannot leave that box. So we just stay there in that comfort zone because we feel scared to leave because we might get hurt. And all those emotions are held in the body emotionally and energetically. So when we are doing healing, we are releasing toxins from our emotions. We're releasing energy, toxic energy from our body, and all of that part of the process. This is why healing trauma, if you have suffered, is extremely important for you to live your life in an aligned way, in a fulfilled way, in purposeful way. Because when we constantly store things that we have gone through and we were not aware, we didn't do it purposefully, it just happened. That's how we coped with our situation when we went through trauma. So that's how we coped. So we didn't do it intentionally. So now that we have the awareness, it's our responsibility, it's our job to release ourselves from that trauma, from that pain, from that challenge, so that we are more aligned with ourself, with our soul, with our body, with our mind, so that we can do what we really want to do to achieve what we really want to achieve. So I hope this video gave you some clarity about how we store trauma in our body and my method of releasing and healing the trauma. If you want to go on this journey of healing, then, and if you want to test what it feels like to be healed, then I do have instant healing sessions that you can book in with me below. Other than that, like this video if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. And may the light in me reaches the light in you.